What's up?
What's going on, man?
You know, another day, another Monday, but this one with less technical difficulties.
Good.
Yeah, right, dude. Oh, thank you. Sorry, it's morphing time. Hold on. Oh man, how was your weekend, bud?
It was all right. I had to work all day Saturday.
Ooh, interview
Mm.
stuff.
Huh?
Interview
Oh,
stuff.
like day job stuff.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. That's boring.
Yeah, yeah. It was all outdoors too. So
Ooh, and the wonderful weather. Yeah, man. Weather. It could have been worse. Anyways, welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre, everyone. This is the show where we get to talk about everything, be ridiculous, stupid about everything in entertainment, and sometimes non-entertainment stuff that just happens to catch our eyes. And yeah, I'm Kyle, and the guy across from me on the West Coast is Manny. What's up, bud?
the best coast, bro.
Uh,
We
in
don't
many
get
ways, yeah.
hurricanes.
No,
By the
you sure
way,
don't.
all our thoughts are with all those people that
Absolutely.
man, it's bad out there.
Luckily, it seems the majority of the levees in New Orleans and other parts of southern Louisiana held for the most part. There is some flooding. There's been one confirmed death from the storm so far. But yeah, absolutely, we're thinking and hoping for the best, not just for any of our everyone out there, and even those that have been affected by all the storms this hurricane season. So speedy recovery, and hopefully the injuries and other casualties stay incredibly low. That would be great. They said the biggest difference between this and Katrina, crazy year to date landfall, was Katrina was more rain heavy and the levees broke.
Oh yeah,
So
that was bad.
yeah, the flooding. This was a really big windstorm. We were watching some live streams from storm chasers and weather outlets and things like that. My in-laws live in the Gulf area and got hit by some of those what do they call, trail arms or whatever, the spiraling arms. And yeah, so it's a crazy thing, man. There was a great video on YouTube Christine and I watched with someone in the eye, like on the ground, and it's as beautiful as it looks from like space, or the like hurricane tracker chaser airplanes. It's this beautiful, sunny, clear, calm sky. Barely hear any wind, and just this circular, slow, what looks really slow because of how big it is, slow spinning wall of spiral clouds around. Dude, it was wicked cool looking. So I'd like to see that, but weather's nuts. Anyways, we're sponsored by Grow Generations, where the pros go to grow and all that good stuff. You saw their clip at the beginning, and we'll talk more about them later. But dude, we have a thing to do on Mondays, and I am trying to bring it up. Have you looked at the numbers?
Yeah, congratulations to Candyman for superseding their expectations.
Ooh, we have another one that busted its expectations, huh?
Yeah, actually, they were, I think they were forecasting and kind of expecting about 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they finished at 22, 23.
Yes, 22.3.
So they're very happy with it because in total they spent 25 on it.
Nice.
So it's going to be one of the rare cases so far. And this, I mean, it's just the type of movie gives it that kind of uh ability where it didn't cost as much, but
Mm-hmm.
um it's gonna be profitable.
Yeah, definitely.
And for a
Um,
horror movie rated R with
mhm.
everything going on, they're like, yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna
Well,
take this.
it goes to show you that you can still do good things on tighter budgets. The kind of like only spot that becomes really hard to control budgets to a degree is in the cast. there's only so much you can do if you want certain actors and actresses. You know what I'm saying there. But outside of that, there's a lot you can do now. Uh, One thing we wanted to see was kind of like what Free Guy's second week or third week would
Third
be
week.
comparatively, because they had their big, let's see, big or not big, but very very small first week fall of only 35, and then they went 27, and we wanted to kind of look at like Suicide Squad had its uh 71, and then it was down 54. Okay, so anyways, Free Guy is down 27% now, with Paw Patrol, another family friendly movie, having in the 50 range. Jungle Cruise weekend was what? Let's see. 55 to 42. That sounds similar. 50, 55. No big like blockbuster released this week, so nothing to compare for uh Black Widow Fast 9, which were kind of like the what, not goalposts, but the ball marker, like the down marker or whatever, where the chain is. Damn it, I forget the marker where it starts. It's got to be the ball marker or some shit, right? Manny, help
I
me
don't know
out.
what you're
Stop letting
talking
me
about.
flounder like this,
I don't know
asshole.
what you're talking about.
In football, like how you make I made a football ball reference of
That's a football reference?
Widow and listen, Widow and Fast 9 are they're not the goal post. That's not they're the marker. They're like the pace car of what we want to compare the rest of these quote unquote post pandemic movie releases, these
Oh, it sounds like
films
you're
that are
talking
getting all
NASCAR.
sorts of stuff. Because I'm trying to help you see what I'm getting with another get bit, man.
You're not helping
Get bit.
with calling it with saying pace car. I'm like, wait,
Because you
what are you?
didn't get the football thing. I guess I explained. I hate you.
Okay.
Anyways, we don't have another big blockbuster to look at right now, but good job for Candyman. This is to me still about 50% of what I would expect this movie to do, give or take. It's got a uh um cultural relevance. It's got a historical relevance as far as like cinema history. It's got a huge set of names attached to it, including Jordan Peele. Um, I could see this having made about, like I said, 40, 35, easy. Uh, I think, dude, that kind of 50% cut off at the knees type thing is it might be true. What do you think?
I think they were. I think they could have. Yeah, they could have gone to actually 30, 35, but the entire southern hemisphere or southern East Coast is not in going out to the
Uh,
movie mode.
yeah,
So and there's a large population of African American
very
in
true.
that area, and I
Very
think
true.
that they would have gone out and supported this movie.
It's an
But
interesting point.
yeah, no, I think this hurricane thing really screwed up their numbers as far as what they
I don't know
could.
if the Gulf makes up another 10 mil, but yeah, no,
The
it's a valid
concentration,
point.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying, at least it would have gone up
maybe.
to 27,
Yeah, I could say, because you not
maybe.
only that, but you have people that are concerned, other people that are traveling, taking in family. So yeah, it's not just the area that got hit,
No,
those that
I think
evacuated as well.
I
Yeah,
talked a little too high, but I think yeah, no, probably 27, not
yeah, no,
35.
legit.
But yeah, that and then
And the wildfires even right now still displacing people. So yeah, there's a lot of shit. What do you think it makes if it's 2019?
2019, good 50, 60.
You think 50, 60? I was thinking
Yeah,
40,
they're
but yeah,
they're able to do a little
maybe.
bit more marketing and
And it's got the Peel name
oh yeah,
behind it with
yeah.
Get Out and Us, and yeah. It might. What were some of the big horror movies going back a few years? Where's the yearly? So let's just
Well,
do
we had a yearly purge for a while.
not a I don't want
We had
domestic.
what else did we have?
Let's
I'm not even.
see. I don't know. I'm trying to find how to get to you. See, this is the one thing that freaking what was it called that we used to use? Box Office Mojo had. It was really easy to just get to like the years, and I'm having a hard time. 2021 domestic. There we go. 2020, 19. Let's
So
do 18.
according to Screen Rants, like the best 10 horror movies in the last few years.
A Quiet Place.
Halloween was 2018, also with The Quiet Place.
Yeah, and
Hereditary,
Halloween.
Jesus fucking Christ, it's one of my favorites.
Let's look at the Meg.
Green
Uh,
Room, which I haven't seen. Get Out,
oh,
Hush.
that'll be a good one. When was Get Out? What year?
Get Out was 2017.
17. That'll be
His
good because
House
that
was
was one of
2020.
his.
Ready or Not, it was actually pretty fun.
So let's see what Get Out did. Let's see. Where's the box office and go
Invisible
down to the
Man was a
weekends. Okay.
disappointment.
So Get Out brought in 33 on opening weekend. The Meg, just for shits and giggles, in 2018 brought in 45. Halloween did 76, and then a Quiet Place did 50. Okay, so yeah, this easily, you're right, 45 plus easily. 50 is definitely in there. What did Us do? When did Us come in? That was after Get Out, so that had to have been like 2019, right? I believe so. Let's see, Us. Control F, Us. Oh, it's right there. And what do we got? What do we got, ladies and gentlemen? And we've got 71. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
No, I
yeah.
take that back. This might do 100 million. I did not realize how big Us did. And I know it wasn't necessarily as well received or as well liked by all of the fans as Get Out. But it was still freaking amazing. Yeah, dude. I'm actually thinking this. I think the variant might be playing a bit more and along with the weather than we might have thought. Some of these movies might be suffering more. Cause you got to think, man, his name carries weight, and this is
Yep.
a sequel. And does it make a? I don't know, guys. Let us know what you all think in the comments. Does Candyman push 50, 60 in a non-pandemic 2021, or does it build on the momentum that he had going into Us after Get Out with 100 million plus? Could this have been his? That's hard to.
Well,
What do you
Neil
think?
DaCosta directed this one, so but yeah, his name's all over it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Like,
mhm.
obviously, for what they are trying to do, that I said it, Tad. I'm producing, and he's all over Hollywood right now. He's uh, got writing, directing, producing the Twilight Zone stuff. I mean, the dude's name carries weight.
Yep.
So does it make? And it almost kind of, you're right. You bring up the director, and even when you think about some of the cast, and yeah, Peele's name does kind of get brought up more.
And
Not
Neil
not
DaCosta is
necessarily
gonna
fairly.
you're gonna hear her name more because she's directing Miss Marvel.
Yes, indeed. So I wonder, and that would be an interesting question to talk about. James Gunn's done it, the transition from horror to the comic book field. I don't know if Patty Jenkins did any horror movies. I don't know if the female half of the two that directed the first Captain Marvel, if she had any horror. I wonder if there's a female that's made the transition from a horror to a more mainstream pop culture thing like superheroes or something. That'd be interesting to see. Um, yeah, dude, I wonder. All of this stuff that we look at with these numbers is really fascinating to me, because that again kind of throws a wrench into our pattern. And I'll tell you what, if next week things don't settle, then there is no pattern. We had about 4 weeks and several movies that kind of followed at something, and then it's kind of like, no, I think it's still just too much in flux, man. What do you think?
I yeah, it gets weirder because we're always following the consistent of like, yeah, it's just a variant, and now we're adding weather.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a monkey wrench in the experiment.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
will say I was at it. My daughter and I went to watch Free Guy again on Friday because she hadn't seen it. I say again because I had already seen it, and that room was packed. So I was very surprised it's its third week, but people are enjoying the heck out of that movie.
Indeed, it does seem like it. Yeah. I wonder what is going on. And I mean, we talked last week a bit about and I'll go ahead and stop sharing the screen so people can see our beautiful faces a bit more. We talked a lot about the uh kind of, what theaters needed, what these movies were needing to make, what the new budgets may be, whether or not things are going to get delayed more. There was the big alleged bombshell from Vulture that Venom was going to be delayed, and then Variety comes out and says that's not what we're hearing. Sony stays mum, basically, for all intents and purposes. Yeah, it's I think things are still just in flux, man. I think Hollywood's kind of written off, and we are not, LRM is not calling any particular movie the E word, but this whole year is in and of itself an experimental year for the entire industry, from production to distribution. uh and I think they've kind of written off 2021 as such, let things ride out as they kind of have planned them with small tweaks here and there, and hope for a better start in 22. What do you think, man?
I think this year is going to be the year where there's going to be a lot of filmmakers just thank God we make cheap movies
Mm-hmm.
because movies like Candyman, like Quiet Place 2 are going to be able to still make money and not worry about that gigantic budget that they were terrified of. So I just it does suck for the big ones.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
absolutely.
but nobody could have, forecasted this years ago. So you just have to roll with the punches, and I think that's where studios are gonna kind of be like, okay, well, we didn't make any money off of these big movies, but we at least maybe recovered cost or used them for various purposes like promoting our streaming services, so we could count it almost as a type of marketing. And but we're gonna probably make up some of that in some of these low budget movies that are gonna make maybe a little bit more than what the big ones are percentage wise. So I mean, just have to bite the bullet right now and get through it, or
Yeah.
you can push your movies back.
Well, the key thing is what you just brought up, budgets, man. Like, that's something you and I talked about a few weeks ago, something Brian wondered as well, when he was like, what do you do if movies start capping out at that 150 $170 million mark, just simply because people are willing to wait, you know and if they're willing to wait, where else do you make your money? Because a lot of people really are kind of used to the idea that your big Hollywood movies are supposed to be on the streaming services now, very very quickly. Um, I don't know, how much free, early access stuff you could do and make money. So the question becomes budgets, man. What do you do to make another Endgame? So we want Secret Wars, right? How does Hollywood get Secret Wars?
They don't right now. That's what's just gonna happen. It's gonna
But
get pushed back.
that's what I'm saying, dude. What if Brian's right? What if that whole idea of we can wait 90 days, we can wait 100 days for it to hit digital for rent, which immediately opens up the or digital purchase rent, whatever, digital video on demand, which immediately opens up the pirate network for high quality rips. And then even when you release it on home video, there's going to be even those that they'll spend the $5 at Redbox or whatever digital store. They're not going to buy it on physical. They're going to wait for it to hit Disney Plus or HBO Max or Netflix, whatever the case is. Do you fear that, or do you think this all settles down despite the lower waiting time, that Hollywood can still swing for the fences with a $250 million budget and bring in 800 million worldwide?
Not if they're gonna shorten that window up. You really can't afford to.
Can you expand it back out?
Yeah, you definitely can.
You don't think the people would be mad? Maybe
Why
eke
would
it out little by little, a couple weeks this year, a few more weeks.
people will complain about everything.
That's true.
So
I'd complain.
honestly, screw the people. Do what's good for business. Because the people are gonna complain and then go watch the movie.
Right. To a degree, you're correct. Everyone thinks they know what they want, and there's a lot of Hollywood actors and directors that some have more tactfully bounced around this idea than others, but they've all said the audience doesn't. Not all. The group I'm talking about have all said the audience doesn't know what you want. They don't know what they want.
No,
like we don't necessarily know what we want. I can admit that. There's things I think I know what I want. I believe I know what I thought in all of my heart of hearts, as the old saying goes, that Widow needed to have a turn in the Avengers. She had to go bad. I'm glad she didn't. I'm fine that she never backstabbed. Oh well, she turned her back on Tony. That was her betrayal moment. Okay, sure. We'll say they amalgamized it into that. Sure. No, I'm fine with some things like that, man. But they're right. We don't necessarily know what we want. You kind of got to look at actual trends, not Twitter, Disney, others, HBO. Yeah, man. Well, you got to do what's good for business, because at the end of the day, they're delivering to a degree. We're not talking treating people badly or anything like that. You got to do things. Otherwise, there's no product left, guys. That's what I'm kind of getting at. You want Secret Wars? Then you best be willing to spend money on fucking sideshow collectible statues. Make up the gap. If we're not going to the theaters, buy more shirts, toys, lunch boxes. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're not wrong.
So
you can't have both.
No. And that kind of brings it back to what I said earlier about actors and actresses. Like, that's the hard part to cut, right? The guilds have certain minimum rates and things, and yeah, there's case by case negotiations that could be done, and but it's all very very eggshelly, you know. And I mean, no one wants to never see a Robert Downey Jr. movie again. No one wants to never see a Henry Cavill movie again. We want all of the younger and even older new actors, people that haven't been in the game long, new to the game, or just unknowns, been in for a while doing all sorts of indie. We would love to see them come up, and these types of things could help that. But it also prevents us from seeing some of those big names that we know and love. Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's the thing is that there is no stability right now, so
mm-mm.
it's hard to go any direction because things could change so quickly as we can see with like this weekend, for example. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
not a it's not a not even a COVID map, for example. It's now we have an entire portion of the United States that doesn't even have
Yep.
power, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're heading into peak hurricane season with September and part of October, depending on the year. But yeah, we'll see, man. Like I said, hopefully it all works out. But these are the things as kind of consumers we have to ask ourselves. You know, what do we want? Do you want more indie, or do you want more in game? If you want both, you're gonna have to spend some money on the people that made Endgame in other ways, or get back to either the theaters or buying your media. Don't just rent. Don't just pirate. Purchase the digital. Purchase the Blu-ray, the 4K, whatever. Anyways, we got to take a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation, guys. Thank you so much.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
And thank you guys for sponsoring the show. And thank you, Christine, for reading it. And yeah, I don't know why I have decided to give myself more work on the new overlay and out not outline layout. There's the freaking word.
Mhm.
Oh well, it's fine. Anything for the audience. What caught your eye this weekend, man? It's kind of like a lull after Friday's big Star Wars reveal. Cad Bane coming to the Book of Boba Fett. You watched most of the Clone Wars or all of it, right? Or not?
Yep.
Clone Wars. Did you see all of Rebels?
Actually, I never watched Rogue. Well, yeah.
Okay. And
No, I take
Bad
it back.
Batch. Did
Yeah,
you watch all of?
yeah.
Okay, so you
I
know the
covered Bad Batch.
character. Well, I know you covered it, but I didn't know if you watched all like through the finale or not. What do you think about that character and seeing Cad Bane, a Duros, in a freaking cowboy hat on the big like live action?
Cad Bane's freaking dope, man. He's always one of those great recurring characters, and one of those that you can even flip for an episode and have him working with the crew for whatever stupid reason. And so it was always interesting, but you always knew he was going to flip at some point because he's always interested in his own well-being and his own greed, which is fine because that's who he is. So it will be really cool to see him in a live action role. I want to see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm really curious about. So
I
yeah,
agree.
I've always thought that the that the Clone Wars and those series added so much more to a spot in Star Wars that you could fill in. I've always hated things that were filled in between the original three, but for some reason it was okay with the prequels. Um, so it's been great. I like the depth. We got Ahsoka. We got a lot more younger Anakin, as he's still not a jerk completely. Obi-Wan just being super chill all the time. It was and the occasional Jar Jar.
Yeah. Okay. I never got into it, man. I couldn't. I hated the prequels so badly. I was older. I was 14 when Menace came out, and then I did not have a kid until I was almost 30 years old, and I was 29, and Clone Wars did not interest me because the prequels were so disappointing. But um, I've had to dive into reading some things, which I'm never against reading, and to figure some of the things out for uh, the Mandalorian shows and what's Excuse me, guys. I seem to be having a really rough day with the brain today. All the shows that are connected to Filoni's animated stuff, and it's kind of cool. It's fun. I'm really interested in seeing. I mean, you kind of know that there's going to be a lot of CGI, but you almost hope they do like a Paul Bettany vision where there's a lot of real makeup and effects, and then a digital overlay. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope it's not just a mocap suit and a bunch of dots on the face, but I have a feeling that's what it'll be. I don't know. It'll still be cool.
You see, I'm a Star Trek guy, so I like episodic things. So that's what Clone Wars and Rebels and things like that are able to do for me is to kind of keep it going, keep some character development while also making things kind of each episode almost self-contained. Sometimes it spreads to 2 or 3, and I think that's also why I rather enjoyed it. And then also, I thought the prequels were okay. I'll watch the Phantom Menace every now and then just for pod racing and for Darth Maul.
That's what that's what YouTube's for.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
So I have no problem with them, and so kind of seeing some of these characters now make it to the big screen. I like. It's just I'm so. I thought we were going to be done with the Luke Skywalker saga, and it seems like we're going to be stuck there for a couple of decades now. Still,
yeah.
It like instead, like they tried to go forward with all these characters, and some of them I thought had very good potential, and they still do. And then I don't know what happened. They took all 3 movies and went 3 different directions. And now they're kind of backtracking and working from within. Hell, I was not happy at all to see Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. And now we're gonna go back with Obi-Wan, and we're gonna go back over here with Rogue Squadron, and we're gonna go back with Boba Fett, and we're gonna go back. See, it's just okay. Well, I guess this is Star Wars. What Disney is pretty much telling me that Star Wars is really the Skywalker saga, and that's it. There's nothing else.
To a lot of people, that is it, and I some of them are older, some of them are younger. It's a blended field, but I know some that are like, oh, if it's not Jedi and Sith, it's not Star Wars, and I'm like, not really, but whatever. I like seeing. I don't necessarily agree that I like episodic, and I know they're called episodes 1 through 9. I got that, but it's more like one massive rope with a bunch of small cords going through it than like a Star Trek episodic, which we could agree on, right? Right, there's very little overarching narrative to any of the Star Trek shows outside of themes of exploration and pacifism, what is required, and yada yada yada. But Star Wars, maybe that's why I really don't like the Clone Wars stuff, and I like the big narrative things that we got with them. But I do love those same styles of stories done with things outside of Jedi and Sith. I love X-Wing stuff. I love the X-Wing novels from Stackpole and Alston. I think those are great, and they are not very episodic. Yeah, each book series has a complete 4-book arc that covers several major events that are all directly connected, that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but is feeding off of what came before and leaving it open for afterwards. I'll say this: the thing that I am excited most about the Book of Boba Fett is what's on the screen right now, and that's some stuff from Robert Rodriguez, and it's not just what he said; it's just the fact he's the show like he's oh my dude. His episode was so cool, and to see his little test footage with the action figures and his kids, this guy just freaking lives and breathes to have fun, but does good hard work to get that fun, and then he lives and breathes for his freaking kids, dude. And as a dad, that just fuck yeah, dude. Robert Rodriguez is one of my heroes, and has been since outside of the movies, as far as I'm saying, like as a person. The Sin City DVD had that, like where he makes that sandwich and he's like talking about movies and stuff, but he's making a sandwich. Dude, it was just such a cool, unique, fun little thing to see him do. And that's when I found out about all the stuff that he does behind the camera. He says about Book of Boba Fett recently to Collider, quote, "I can't say anything about it at all right now, but it's coming out in December. Wait until you see what's coming. It's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say. I can talk it up all I want because I know it delivers. It way over delivers. People are going to be so pumped when they see it. Dude, you recently got to speak to him about a completely different project, but I also know you idolize him. Talk to us a little bit about him and doing himself, your interview, and then doing Book of Boba Fett and your excitement."
I do not idolize him, but I do very
you know
much
what I meant.
love his work.
Yeah, that's
that's a very strong word.
yeah. So, sorry, I throw that word around like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, I I don't. So no, Desperado is one of my favorite movies of all time. Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek. It's just so good. And then I have a relationship with Spy Kids and my little brothers and my cousins, and going to see that. And then he was also executive producer for Lucha Underground, which is an American-made Mexican-style wrestling promotion that ran for a couple of years. That was a lot of fun. So he's had his hands in so many things, and this year in particular. Last year he did some work with Ariana Grande for a video, and so now he was working with Billie Eilish and her new album, which just dropped at the end of July, which is actually pretty good. It's called Happier Than Ever, and so for Disney Plus they're doing a concert movie where it's going to be called Happier Than Ever: Love Letter to Los Angeles, and it's filmed at the Hollywood Bowl, and then it's going to be played. The album's played in its entirety, and I got to talk to him about that because he's the director for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a lot of fun to talk to him about, because Eilish has some pretty dope lyrics, pretty good songs. It's amazing what she's able to do, and the fact that this is her sophomore album is dumb. I was like, what? I thought it almost feels like she's been around longer. Mm-hmm. And to your point, Robert Rodriguez, the same way I did. This is where we kind of connected, and it made it a little bit more fun. We both discovered Billie Eilish music through our daughters, and but unfortunately, I can't necessarily do what he did. But he's actually working alongside his daughter on this project, which is it's bonkers to me, the fact that you can do that. And I can't imagine we talked a little bit about how special it was for him to be able to work with his daughter on set with something like this, or in the audience. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, because it was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Right.
So it was a dope interview. I can't believe I got to talk to the guy, because he's so busy. He's doing so many great things. But actually, that's up on YouTube now. It'll be up on the site a little bit later.
There you go, guys. Yeah, I said, it was that extra, and just realizing how much of a filmmaker he is, because there's a lot of Hollywood directors, and everyone of course has their very various views of their own self, their own works, different works they did for different reasons, and but people subjectively look at, you know, movies versus film, or art versus entertainment, and things like filmmaker versus director, whatever. I realized how much he cared about making movies, though. Like, it was beyond him. It was the effects, it was the actors, it was the writer, it was the whole machine, man. And then he includes us, the audience, in that machine, because we feed the machine the fuel with money, like, you know. And I really do love his movies. Are incredibly entertaining. He's incredibly entertaining. Every behind the scenes thing you can watch of Robert Rodriguez, you should do. Now I'll stop kissing ass and all.
No,
all
it was
that
funny
stuff.
because I remember when I watched that episode and the stormtroopers are coming out and they're fighting. I sat there and I was like, damn, this looks like a Robert Rodriguez kind of thing. And then the credits came out, directed by Robert Rodriguez. I was like, oh,
I had the same reaction, dude. Not going to lie.
Just the style of gun of I call it, when it's in a movie, I call it gunplay. And it was just done so well. It was fun, so much fun. And then to see that it was actually him just made me happy, because I realized that I recognized his style.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty freaking cool. By the way, I'm gonna change the subject a little bit.
Go ahead.
So I don't know how I never saw this before, and I'd had to do it. It had been on my list for a while, but it'd been at the bottom of my list just because I didn't recognize how good it was or how much I'd enjoy it. But for the first time yesterday, my girlfriend was so excited to rewatch it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the film What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, what'd you think?
First of all, I had no idea that Taika Waititi was in it.
Oh, you horrible person.
And for a film that was like some weird thing, like a Tim Burton crosses over with The Office,
mm-hmm.
It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
the show is so good.
Yeah, I'm actually getting through the second season now, and I'll be getting through whatever they have of the third season tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have FX gives me their stuff, so
I know.
And then tomorrow, out of all the people on that show, I get to talk to Guillermo in the morning.
I know, right?
And so I'm
he's
like,
so cool.
I'm like, Guillermo.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, it's so freaking great.
It kind of sucks, dude, that you saw the Vampire Council scene before you knew about Taika and all of that.
What do you mean? What scene?
I guess you're not remembering it. Anyways, don't worry if you don't remember or didn't get to it yet or something. Just you'll see. There's a connection to the movie.
No, but what? I don't know what you're talking. Oh, to the
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, but the movie came out years ago, so
I know.
That's why I wanted to watch that first.
Right. So you watched the movie, and now you're watching the show.
Yeah.
You finished season 1,
mm-hmm.
and you're in season 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know what I'm talking about, the Vampire Council scene with all the cameos?
No, I know.
Okay.
I thought you were trying.
Okay. We both got confused.
It's so much fun, and I'm glad that like I said, it's been on my list, but a lot of times the way things are now, and this is a first world problem, if I'm not working on it, I'm not watching it because that's how much time I have.
Yeah, outside of anime for me, which we do have an anime show. Latest episode of the Anime Versal Reviews just went up yesterday, talking Megalobox. Like every 90s anime you ever saw, all rolled into one sports anime about boxing. It's a tournament arc. It's awesomely simple and so good. But anyways, yeah, check that out. Yeah, dude. I love that show. Super jealous of you getting to talk to them. But everyone will be able to view it on our YouTube channel and eventually on lrmonline.com, where you should be going every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. And my kid is crying, so I'm going to hurry up and wrap this up. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to our wonderful podcast network and YouTube channel. We got social media information down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.